The story of why I love the character Goku starts here.
Don't stop, we're in luck now. Don't stop, there's so much to be found. We can't find paradise. All we have to do is go, go, free your soul.
Now, Dragon Ball Z Kai was not my first exposure to Dragon Ball Z. As a matter of fact, I got caught on to the show because of Dragon Ball GT, which is a really funny thing to say because a lot of people in the Dragon Ball Z community don't like it, or a lot of normies who just watch Dragon Ball Z don't like it either. And for obvious reasons, I can agree that GT is definitely not the greatest Dragon Ball Z content. While also I did not watch the original series, the first official true series that I completely watched without being confused and knowing what was happening was Dragon Ball Z Kai, which I know a lot of people have a problem with because it gets rid of the filler, but this is the first thing I was exposed to, and I think that it is honestly the truest form of Dragon Ball Z without all of the filler and stuff. Not that I don't love filler and all that, but I feel like this is the true form of Dragon Ball Z, and this is where I got caught onto Dragon Ball Z and Goku. I was in middle school, and yeah, I was not the most fit human being in a very chubby little boy. I'd get picked on quite a bit, and I used to draw pictures all the time. I was constantly drawing. I was an artist of sorts, you could say, and I honestly had a hard time in school. I was not popular. I hated going on the playground and playing outside. I'd rather spend my recess inside the library reading books and comic information. We had two books in my library that were about how they created, Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and I would constantly have those out of the library and be reading them over and over and over again because I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be something. I also really loved history and used to read, the treehouse books, the ones with the kids and they'd like go through history, I think. Yeah, I hated those. But they'd have these books about like the life of George Washington or and stuff like that. And on the cover it had a really big head and it was like, look at this is a person and they did cool stuff. Yeah, I used to read a lot of those. I loved reading and obviously a fat, chubby, nerdy kid who liked Pokemon, comic books and stuff and was not athletic was obviously a huge sign for getting picked on. So I had a hard time in school and often find myself uh, telling my mom I was sick and staying home because I didn't want to deal with the bullies and honestly just dealing with the bull crap that comes with going to school. So I'd often lie and say I wasn't feeling good and stay home. And with that, I would often find myself on the couch watching TV all day. And if you know anything about TV, most of the time all the good cartoons and stuff don't happen during the day. So I was stuck watching Tom and Jerry on Cartoon Network. Except we had DVR, boys, and we also had a whole bunch of channels. And one of those channels happened to be Nicktoon. Now, during the day, I don't know why, but Nicktoons used to just play nothing but Dragon Ball Z. There was just, you could probably watch a quarter of the series during the day on Nicktoons, and they just episode after episode. I actually had flipped through the channels and saw that Dragon Ball Z was on. I thought it looked weird, so I kept going. Except one day. It'd been honestly a rough day before I told my mom my stomach hurt, which it honestly did, which I'd later find out that it was from all the stress of being worried about being picked on the next day. I found myself flipping through the channels and coming across Dragon Ball Z. And honestly, I didn't have anything else to do but watch. And like I said earlier, the episode I watched was Vegeta versus Gohan and Goten on GT. And let me tell you, that episode is not the best episode to get into Dragon Ball Z with. I was super confused, but was also intrigued and went along for the ride. I'd watched GT here and there, but the series actually started over Dragon Ball Z Kai, and I started watching that from the beginning. And I found myself instantly loving the show, and the character I loved the most at the beginning was Goku. I know, right? Crazy. The Goku's the one that I fell in love with, and that's the name of the title, like why I love Goku. So, isn't that kind of crazy? Anyways, I should probably stay on task and stop cracking my fingers. That's what this clicking is, and also you can hear my chair racking. I'm sorry, I need a new chair. Anyways, I found myself loving Goku in a time in my life where I was getting picked on, and it felt like the whole world hated me for some reason, even though I was just doing what I loved, drawing pictures and stuff like that. I found Goku to be somewhat of an escape from reality. He felt like me. He felt different than all the other characters and heroes I had kind of seen before. Goku was not a smart person, and oftentimes you would see that, and people would make fun of him for it, but he wouldn't care. And in the show, obviously, in Dragon Ball Z, he went up against a lot of strong people that told him he couldn't beat them. And his friends even told him he couldn't beat them. And yet, time and time and time again, we see Goku overcome these horrifying feats, these unimaginable nightmares, and he goes at them with a smile on his face. Without a care in the world, without a care of what tomorrow may bring, without caring about homework or the bullies at school, he kept going. He kept fighting. No matter what anybody told to him, no matter what the world said, no matter what the villain said, no matter what he thought, he kept fighting and he kept smiling. Even though these villains trying to change him and try to make him think that he was nothing, Goku kept smiling. And throughout the whole show of Dragon Ball Z, you can see that Goku never really changes. And honestly, I love that. Don't get me wrong, I love Vegeta, I love Piccolo, they change over the series, and it feels great watching them change into something that we, love and see them grow and progress and become something better than we even thought they could do. But it's just nice to see Goku not change. The world changed around him. Constant villains telling him he was nothing, worthless, a low-class Saiyan warrior, a monkey, nothing but a loser, born and destined to be something weak. He didn't care. Goku didn't change for people or the villains. He didn't change because the world required it. He didn't change because he thought people would like him more. He stayed the same. And throughout the show, we see that people gravitate towards him because he sticks to his morals. He sticks to his guns, his ideals. And he doesn't change because the world tells him to, or he thinks things will be better for him if he changes. Goku is the constant in the whole show, and honestly, that's something I strive for. Being the constant hero, being the constant person, being the constant you, and staying true to yourself no matter what the world says to you, no matter what the big monster in front of you says to you, to stay true to who you are and be that guy who's constantly the hero and smiles. And honestly, as a kid, this is what I needed. I honestly strive to be Goku, like I feel like most Dragon Ball fans did. You yelled Kaioken, or the Kamehameha, or you tried instant transmission. I honestly tried to be Goku in everything I did. Constantly smiling, constantly making sure I was okay, constantly not letting the world change me. And as I grew older, I accepted the Goku philosophy and stayed true to myself. And honestly, without Dragon Ball Z, I don't know if I'd still be drawing today. I don't know if I'd still be the happy, cheery person that I am. Without Goku, I honestly don't know if I'd be the same person. And I know that sounds crazy that some fictional character that doesn't exist, isn't real, and is a meme on the internet, and no one can be Goku, right? Well, without Goku, I don't know if I'd be the same. He taught me that when the world tells you that you're something and the bad guys in front of you tell you you're nothing, and the whole world's telling you you can't do it, I can. And Goku did. Every time he won. People say, Dragon Ball Z doesn't have the greatest story. Goku's not the greatest main character. And to that I say, you have your own opinions. I obviously have a personal connection with Goku and the story of Dragon Ball Z, and it's different for everyone. And I get that. And I'm not saying that Dragon Ball Z is the best because as a little nerdy kid who got picked on, Goku helped me through some hard times. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Goku to me is the unchangeable force that helps those around him who are confused and don't know who they are and where they stand in the world. He helps them find themselves. He helps them find a purpose, find them true selves. Piccolo, Vegeta, Tien, yeah, I could keep going on. The androids later on in Super, Boo. It feels like Goku staying constant is what the world needs. The world needs. And is that okay for somebody to stay true to themselves? Is it okay for Goku to just stay Goku?